finally, despite all this crazy political correctness that you might have thinking has been overrunning the nation, UK authorities are getting back to their core business, bread and butter issues, and thanks to a motion from a Greens councillor, they have called on the Home Secretary of the UK to issue a pardon for all those executed under the Witchcraft Act of 1652. Yes, justice just cannot come too quickly for the good people of Maidstone. Have a look at this. They have made this Facebook post, the Greens councillor, of course, has said, "We're calling on the Home Secretary to pardon hundreds of women executed under the Witchcraft Act, including 7 local women hanged at Pennenden Heath in 1652. Their persecution was rooted in misogyny, not magic. These women were poor, single, widowed or healers, not criminals. They weren't witches. They were women who had no one to speak for them." So finally, the Greens, as they always do, are standing up for the truly oppressed, witches who have been dead for 4 centuries. What an amazing policy position. This is, I swear to God, you want to talk about Pennenden Heath? That is a hill worth dying on, my friends.
I mean, part of it I don't have a particular issue with, because it's like, well, it doesn't really affect anyone, so whatever, go for your life. But I also think, who's sitting around thinking, oh, geez, all those witches all these years ago, this is core council business that we need to be writing off to the Home Affairs Secretary for? Really?
I just don't understand how this is a priority for them. There were only around 500 people ever executed.
Such a patriarchal thing to say.
There were 500 people executed under witchcraft sentencing. That's nothing in the scheme of people who die from all sorts of things, including violent crime. I mean, so many things. So I just don't understand why this is the thing that's getting attention. The other factor is, I mean, witchcraft is still very much practiced today.
Oh, it's cool.
In many parts of Africa, there are still child sacrifices in the name of witchcraft. Where is the Greens councillor's condemnation of that? Where are they standing up for vulnerable people who are the victims of archaic witchcraft practices today? It's nice to condemn with our 2020 vision of the present and project back onto 500 years ago and say, oh, how dare you do that? But there are real injustices still occurring and witchcraft still occurring today. Maybe focus on condemning that first.
Well, I think it's because they're caught up in the sort of modern Wicca movement, which is very, very cool among hippie, trippy, lefty types now, and people say, oh, it's actually really empowering for women and it's pagan and blah, 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 blah. And of course, it's anti-Christian, which makes them feel very happy indeed. But I'm not sure if the Greens are actually right about witchcraft trials being misogynistic, from what I can understand from listening to 2 podcasts. But I think the majority of women in the UK, the majority of people accused of witchcraft in the UK were women, but the majority of accusers were also women.
There you go.
So women were more likely to accuse other women of being witches than men were. Obviously, the men had to then come and sort it out so they could just have one rational mind in the entire
you're not telling me, Joe, that the Greens get things wrong.
And in other areas where witchcraft was really, I'm not sure if it was Germany or Scandinavia, maybe one of those Teutonic-y sort of places, men were more likely to be accused and prosecuted for witchcraft as well.
But again, you can't sit here in 2025 and cast our moral compass onto people of 1652. I mean, that just is not how it works, and witchcraft is still very much practiced today. So who are we to say it wasn't practiced back then if it's still being practiced today?